this weekend too, guys. So just bear that in mind. Take the weekend off. Fire up the barbecue and have some fun, guys. I don't like trading when the big traders and the banks are off because the volatility is crazy. The volume is not there, so the indicators don't work properly. You get these big spikes and stuff, so just don't do it, guys. So that's my take on that, Lyle. I mentioned to one of my students today too, if you're a trader and you're a serious one, please buy a book called Trading in the Zone from Mark Douglas. And you can actually even find it online. I'm going to write it in here. Very, 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 very important book. Oh, what am I doing here? Mark Douglas. Try that again, Frank. There we go. Trading in the Zone by a guy called Mark Douglas. If you haven't read this and you're a trader, it's akin to saying, I'm a Christian, I just happen to never have read the Bible. I'm a Muslim, but I never read the Quran. It just doesn't make sense. It's the Bible for traders. So trading in the zone, guys. I'll give an example of a couple of things that he talks about. Let me bring up something right here. And the very first thing, these are just notes that I've taken from Trading in the Zone myself. And look at a couple of them here. And you guys have heard me say this many, many, many times about consistency, that's all that we're after. What does Mark Douglas say? For those who have learned how to be consistent, or who have broken through what I call the threshold of consistency, the money is not only within their grasp, they can virtually take it at will. Couldn't have said it better myself. This thing is about consistency. If you can get to 20 pips a day, you don't need to go beyond that, because then you just use your leverage to ramp it up. You get into the market, you take your profit for the day on 1 or 2 trades, and then you go play golf, guys. That's ideally what we're after here. He also goes on, these are lots of stuff, but please read this book. There are 2 types of traders: those who feel fear, anger, frustration, anxiety, disappointment, betrayal, and regret, and those who gain intelligence and think differently from everybody else. The latter is focused with confidence. The latter is focused, confident, thinks probabilities, and realizes his risk. So very, very important. We don't, trade with fear, anger, frustration, disappointment, betrayal. One other thing I wanted to point out. This one. Listen to this, guys. 95% of trading errors you're likely to make, causing the money to just evaporate from your account before your very eyes, will stem from attitudes. Attitudes, not trading, attitudes, guys. And the attitudes are about being wrong, about losing money, about missing out, and about leaving money on the table. These are the 4 primary fears. Let's take a look at that. This is where Rubicon truly, truly can help a lot. About being wrong. Most traders, even though we're just answering to ourselves, when a trade goes against them, will begin thinking the following: it'll come back. And rather than get out of a losing trade and getting back in the game by minimizing damage to your overall account, because remember, if you get out of a losing trade at a minimum loss, you're back in the game. If you stay in a losing trade, you can't trade. So don't be afraid to lose money. It's part of the game. And don't be afraid to be wrong, guys. If you're wrong, abort the mission. Now here's the other thing he says too. Missing out on a trade and leaving money on the table. Let's talk about that. With Rubicon, if you get the signal, it's also going to give you a stop loss and a take profit point. If you're suffering from any of those 4 things, use Rubicon, put in your stop loss, put in your take profit, and walk away. Let the trade do its job. Do not be afraid to leave money. Don't chase a trade. If you've missed it with Rubicon, wait for the next one to come. Or if you got a strong trend, drop down 1 time frame and look for a new entry. They're there all day long. If you've made your pips for the day, Don't think about leaving money on the table. All good traders couldn't care less. In other words, if I get my 20 pips for the day, I don't care if the market moves another 500 pips. I've made my profit. Kenneth, I just explained that again about... one second. Ken, I'm trading in the zone. Oh, Ken is saying he got it on YouTube. So trading in the zone is read out and listened regularly. That's cool. I didn't know that. So trading in the zone is available on YouTube. Good to know. Thanks, Ken. Kenneth, I said I just answered that question, but I'll say it again. All the tutorials are available on video on the Rubicon blog site. Please go there and watch the videos. Once more. Oh, sorry, wrong. RubiconIndicator.blogspot.com. And they're all there. Please spend a little bit of time, Kenneth, and go through those tutorials. Kenneth, yeah, the Skynet, that's exactly right. Like we said, you got to give Skynet some time. It's not an overnight thing. You're in profit. You're in profit on Skynet. Again, I don't want to take up time. I'm sorry, guys. Apologize here for 1 second. I'm talking about something else. Just for 1 second for Kenneth. Personally, send me an email, Kenneth, so I can communicate with you. Okay? Personally, send me an email at fo'connor@tradersedgeforex.com. And a quick note, Kenneth. Next week, by Wednesday of next week, Phase 2 on Skynet will be up and running. So you're going to see some big changes happening over there. But drop me an email so I can explain that. Just in fairness to everybody else, what we're talking about, we have a leased EA for specialized trading, and it's also for big amounts of bigger traders, and it's an automated trading system called Skynet. Not relevant to what we're talking about right now, but Kenneth's one of our clients on both sides, both Rubicon and Skynet, and I just wanted to answer his question for 1 second. So good news, the account is nicely in profit, and the other Phase 2 is going on next week. Yeah, again, once again, Gian Peril, hopefully I'm saying that right. All the webinars are available usually within 48 hours of me doing the webinar. If you go back to RubiconIndicator.blogspot.com, you'll get all of today's webinar. You're welcome. Gian Perro saying he missed the beginning and he wanted to get the beginning, so that will be available. For example, if I go there right now, we should see last week's, and there it is, June the 23rd. That's the whole webinar from last week. And it's broken down into 3 parts. So easy to watch. Okay, Kenneth. Okay, Gian Perro. No problem, guys. You're welcome. Okay, good series of questions and answers today, guys. So, finally, have a great weekend. It's a holiday. Enjoy it. Have a great happy birthday, America, and happy Canada Day, Canada. And if you're in Ireland, where I come from, happy drinking weekend. Just go have fun in the pub with the boys. If we're relaxed coming back on Monday or Tuesday, you know what? We're all the better for it as traders. And again, thanks, Harry. Appreciate that. For those of you who are newer, please go to RubiconBlogspot.com and spend some time. There's lots of really good information there on the Rubicon Indicator. Spend some time going through those tutorials and the other videos that are on there about Rubicon. It's very much worth your while, guys. I will, Simon. Thank you. Yeah, you'll see Robert, a real quick answer on that. As in from, I believe, Wednesday of next week, there'll be big trading activity, much more than what you've seen. Yeah, we just had to make sure it was ready, Robert. I refused to let it go until I was absolutely sure that there was nothing that I didn't like happening in there. So, thanks for being patient with me. Again, guys, bear with me. I'm talking about Skynet for a moment. But it was very important to me that we do this and we only do it right. Okay. And again, Robert, if you've any other questions on Skynet, just drop them to me personally over at my own email, which is foConnor@tradersedgeforex.com. This one right here. Okay. Okay, guys, you're welcome. Thanks for all the great questions. Always a pleasure being here with you guys. I get a kick out of it. It keeps my trading skills sharp as well by being in here with you guys. I will see everybody. I'll be back on Tuesday for the TEF webinar, and I'll be back as normal next Thursday at our same time here for the Rubicon webinar, where we will continue our mutual education, making us all better traders. Thanks, Elsie. Have a great weekend down under, all you Aussies down there and Kiwis. And we got lots of Aussies and Kiwis working with us, which is great to have you guys. Also our friends in Canada and the Europeans that are with us also. You're welcome, Chris. No, Roger, it should not have nothing to do with robots, no. If you're running other robots, you should be fine with Rubicon, yep. Good question, though. Roger just want to know, does Rubicon affect other robots that may be running? And the answer is no. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off on that note. So, adios, amigos, and I will see everybody next week. Thanks again, folks.